Hello, Mario! In this video I'm going to take another look at the dairy milk balancing equations, but this time we're going to lose a bit of fat. So let's see how that turns out. So here's our question. 40,000 kilograms of whole milk with a fat content of 6.1% is to be made into butter with fat content of 82%. How much butter do you get if 5% of the fat is lost in the processing? Alrighty, so let's look at that. It starts pretty similar to our previous calculation. So first of all, we need to find out how much fat we've got. So that's just plus that there times the percentage equals, and that's going to give us 2,440 kilograms of milk, of fat. This might bump these up to 2 decimal places, and that one there up to 2, and then auto fit the column width there like that, just to give it all to 2 decimal places. So that's our fat. Okay, but this time we lost 5%, so that's going to go over here in the waste column. We've lost 5%. I'll just quickly do that calculation, that last calculation there on the calculator. I'll take the long route here, having previously 40,000 times 6.1 divided by 100 to make it a percentage divided by 100. I know you can do that in your head, but equals 2,440.00. So there you go. We're in agreement. So now we've got 5% loss. So that loss, the 5% of fat, must have come from the 2,440. So we just go plus that there times 5 equals, and we want that, that to be, that should be 5%. So I'm just going to times 5 slash 100, 5%, okay, because it's 5%. Alrighty, and that's 122 kgs, and I'll just pop that up here to 2 decimal places. So there's that fat. So that means that the fat that was in the butter must be plus that times minus the loss, which is there. Okay, which obviously would represent 95% of that there. Now this butter, of course, is in this case here is at 82%. So that's 82% there. All right. So once again, we divide that by 82, which it's done for us here. So we just go plus that divided by that, and that gives us our 2826.83 kilograms of butter. So let's just get the calculator back just to do the check. So first of all, the 5% one across there, 2,440 times 0.05 is 5% equals 122. Okay, or you could go 5 divided by 100, 122, and then we'll go 2,440 minus the 122, 122, and that gives us a 2318, okay, which is the amount of fat in the butter. And then if we divide that by 82 and divide that by 82 and then multiply that by 100, because that's 1%, so times 100 equals and it keeps coming up as a fraction, but anyway, there we go, 2826.83. So that's how the total kilograms of butter, if we take 82% of that, we'll get 2318. We've got a 5% loss, which is 122. Add that together, we get 2440. So we could just confirm that here, just by going plus that, 2440. So what that means is if we started with 40,000 and we got 2826 kilograms there, the fat is a separate calculation, but therefore if we take the 40,000 and we subtract our butter, that must be how much waste we've got left. 3713.17. And then we have to ask ourselves, well, what percentage of that is fat? Okay, so that's pretty simple. It's just plus that divided by that in this case. And that's 0.33% as a percentage, because these are formatted as these cells. So let's have a look at that on the calculator. I'll get the calculator back. So yeah, it's a pretty simple percentage. 122 of fat divided by the total, 37173.17 equals, and then we've got to multiply that by 100 to make it a percentage, times 100 equals 0.33%. So the key thing is here is that you make sure that you can get the answers that we've got here with the calculator. So let's just check here. We've got plus that, enter, and yeah, our percentages, well, that'll just be 6.1% in there of the fat, which we knew when we started. So, but note that the percentages won't necessarily add up. Well, if we took 82% of that and 0.33% of that and added them together, that would give us our fat figure there. So, yeah, the key with these things, I think, is that is the order that we do them. You've got to remember that it works across. So you start with what you know, calculate the fat loss, then you can calculate that, calculate the waste. So it's a very cyclical or cyclical sort of calculation. So you do have to remember the order that you do things in, because that is very important. Cheers! See you!